Hi guys, hope everyone is doing good. I was unable to upload videos for last few months because I was relocating. I have relocated to a new country outside of India. I'm into Central Europe now. It's the country is Czech Republic. So I was going through a visa process and then coming to a new country and settling down takes a bit of time. But now I'm slightly focused, so I thought I'll start, providing some informational videos which can help you guys. So I've been getting multiple questions. I've tried answering few. I'll continue to answer your questions in case you guys have. Feel free to comment as well. So I want to talk uh, on the future of getting into private sectors and bank PO, and then how you can grow from there. And I also want to share my own journey, which can help you guys to get motivated, know what are the pros, cons, and benefits, and how actually you can build your career. All right, guys. So I have been working overall around 10 plus years for now. So uh, I started off with ICICI Bank PO. I also completed my PO from Bangalore, and then from there I started working for ICICI Bank. I worked for ICICI Bank for around 3 years. I was into NRI banking, where I learned about banking and uh, what I did while I was into banking, which helped me from there to grow my career, is that uh, first thing is that I was very dedicated and focused on what I was doing. So I took everything out of my mind, that what I could have done, that whether I could have gone to a software, whether I should have tried for a government job or anything. I just thought, okay, right now this is what is I have, and let's focus on this, and let's give full-fledged effort. Okay. So I started working on there. Over a period of time, I did two things. First, I learned my role pretty well. The area that I was working into, like I was into NRI banking, so I knew in and out of NRI banking related stuff. That means whichever job that you guys are doing, you should know in and out of that role of that department. And the more that you can know, not only being confined to specifically the task that you're performing or the job that you're doing, but rather having a broader knowledge in the area that you are working into or the department that you're into. For example, you're into credit, learn everything about credit. You're into branch banking, learn everything about branch banking that comes into, so that when somebody asks you that what you do, you shouldn't struggle there. You should be like pro in that. So I worked for around 2 3 years. In that 3 years, I was able to pick up everything which is there in my department. So anyone ask any questions, I'll be able to answer very confidently, so that the person who's listening will be convinced that this person has really worked and knows in and out about the process. So there was no questions from there. That's one thing. Second thing, I ensured that I was a almost towards the top performers list. So I continued to outperform all the metrics. So your performance is gauged based on few metrics. So first I learned what are those, how to achieve them, and I ensured I am able to achieve them consistently. So I was good performer in my role and in my department. So I learned everything about the department, and then I continued to stay good performer there. Then the second thing that I focused on while I was working there is on communication. So guys, everyone need to know. You might say that why English is required and all that, right? But see, the moment you want to crack international job markets, you need to know the language. The moment you are into higher roles, you need to interact with senior leaders, people from different parts of the country, different parts of the world as well. So communication is very critical, and it also makes you very what do you say, confident when you are dealing with stuff, when you're into putting your idea forward, you are trying to solve a problem. It helps to share your thoughts, also to understand others thoughts. And if that's a challenge, it automatically, that's a like basic trouble. So what you have to do is, while you're working for like first 2 3 years of your career, continue to focus on improving your communication. Like, you don't have to put too much effort, but do keep this in mind that you have to improve it over time. and then what are the effort that you need to do. There's not too much that you have to do, but maybe 15-20 minutes or maybe 30 minutes every day or maybe every week. Dedicate some time, make routine, and continue to follow that. Over a period of time, you'll see, at least start reading something which is in English, storybook or novels, whatever is your interest. Develop what is your interest. Look for videos around how to develop your communication. There are a lot of ways that you can do, and just at least have like 15-30 minutes for improving your communication. So I started focusing on that because I realized that is important. That makes you look good when you are into different discussions, in meetings, in presentations. So I did that. So that was the second thing that I did in that role. And then what I did is, while I was working for those 3 years, I kept learning about which are the companies available who can take us. Where should I apply? So I was finding what is my interest. What kind of field should I go for? Should I go for another bank? Should I go for government banks? Should I go for, uh, you know, MNCs? So likewise, I was searching and I, almost identified that okay, I want to go for MNCs and where I can build my career. So that was my interest that I able to identify. Also, I started identifying what are the organizations. So there are a lot of organizations, right? So if you directly target say Microsoft, Google, so it becomes very difficult because you are into an Indian company which is that to banking. So you have to go step by step. So look for your area of interest. So for example, if you want to go to government, because after doing 2 3 years of banking, you can also try for uh, government bank jobs of scale 2, scale 3, etc., depending upon your experiences. Okay, so you can definitely prepare for such jobs in case you are interested. If not, then there is other private banks as well where you can switch, or MNCs as well. So identify like which are what is the interest sector, and then which are the organizations which are dealing there where you want to go. Make a list. So when I was looking for MNCs, I made few list of organizations where I might get a job, and I started looking for how do they hire, where do they give advertisements. And during this time I was working only, I was not looking for a switch, but I was trying to learn how to get into them so that I can build myself. So I looked for, so like for example, if you want to go to MNC, so you can look for some small organizations, Indian MNCs, say for example, Wipro or TCS, Infosys, Cognizant, these kind of organizations which are starters. We can just get into Accenture, etc., where you can start off with the MNC career, work style, etc. And from there, obviously, one of the best companies in the world is where you can target. Okay, so I did that. I worked for around 3 years, and then I moved to one of the small MNC. Again, I got into banking role. Okay, so mine was a NRI, so I got into NRI banking again. So here again I started working, but this time it was different because that was, while it was Indian company, but it had a MNC culture because they were operating in different countries. Plus they were no more a bank, they were an organization providing services to a bank, so they had different approach. So I learned there again two things. One, or maybe I would say the two things which I feel which helped me. Okay, the first thing is that I learned there about Six Sigma. That was a new kind of approach which I learned. But I mean, you guys can think of doing a course outside as well. But what I'm trying to guide you guys is that just performing a certification will not help because you need to learn the in and out of that. So I learned the basics of Six Sigma, and then I started working on projects related to Six Sigma, how to bring improvement, etc. So, I mean, what I would say is that the next stage is that where you improve your skill sets related to the work that you're doing. And there, try to get involved into few projects which are not your regular responsibilities. Like for example, if you are into branch banking now, whatever the operations which are going on in the branch is your responsibility, definitely. But there will be some initiatives, there will be some uh, improvements the bank or the organizations would be trying to drive. Try to get involved into those kind of projects and put your effort. The moment you be very very hardworking, the very very dedicated, automatically you do a lot of work, and when you do a lot of work, you start learning a lot of things as well. Over a period of time, that becomes your assets. Okay, so do that. Learn some skills, do some kind of a certification which can be Six Sigma, etc., or whatever comes in your mind which is more helpful in that role, and then try to implement those. Get involved into few projects in whichever department or role that you are into, or the organization that you are into. Do a few of projects over a period of time. That will give you a lot of knowledge, skill sets. And then again, I continued to be a good performer there as well. I was able to sustain my performance. One of the top performers, I continued to be there as well. And I learned further these skill sets, etc. And I mean, here I worked for around 2.5 years. I would say I worked there. Uh, Further, so 3 years initially, and then 2.5 years, or maybe close to that. So around 5.5 years, and then I switched to another MNC, which was a slightly bigger organization. Again, I continue to focus on learning about MNC culture, the work style, etc. Here I started learning about people management. So, I mean, earlier also I was doing people management, definitely. But then that was more of looking into what others are doing and how, Indian work culture, style, making people work hard, not thinking about, how to do that smartly, how to bring technology, how to bring artificial intelligence, etc. So that was not in the initial part, but then later on I started focusing on that. I learned on people science, how to deal with them in a better way. Okay, keeping them motivated, happy, and also getting the deliverables, getting the work done at also. So I started learning on that part, and from there, after working for projects, after working for, I use those knowledge in this organization. So whatever the Six Sigma that I learned, the previous projects that I did, I started looking for what are the opportunities that I can implement them in the new MNC, which was slightly bigger as well. So, because I had practically done not only just the certifications, so I had that knowledge, I was able to identify the area where I can implement those, and I started to implement them. I started, being focused. Again, I continue to be a performer. So I ensured what are the metrics that are being looked into to be a performer, and I started delivering on that. I was able to uh, make there also a better, become a better performer. And then over a period of time, I got opportunity because I was performing well. I got opportunities, and then I moved to outside of India now for my work purpose. Like I said, I'm now into Europe, into Czech Republic for my work purpose. I'm working here. So, I mean, obviously now you'll think that, okay, so worked for 10 years, worked into various MNCs, and then how am I getting paid, right? So if you guys are smart enough, go ahead and just search, what do you say, Glassdoor and various other internet websites are there to check for what kind of pays there in European countries. But I mean, I'm into now into senior management roles, so I'm doing good. So what I want to say that overall, you'll be able to make a very good career. Don't be confused or be disturbed, whether you're about to join or whether you have already joined. What is my suggestion is that look what is ahead, what is there in front of you. Uh, Remove all your distractions, put all your hard work, and while you start working, keep on looking for how to develop yourself over time. Identify what you don't have. Okay, and when you know that I am lacking this, uh, improve it. Identify when you, and the best way to identify that what are you lacking is, think of what are you scared of when you are working, when you are in a particular role in a department, in an organization. What are you getting fear of? What is your fear, and improve them. Build your skill sets there. And then over a period of time, you'll see you become very improved personality. You'll never be scared of, you'll never be worried of, you'll be fairly confident internally. And once you develop your personality, once you develop your skill sets, you'll automatically see that you are fairly confident, and getting job, etc., like not a big deal. And obviously you can have a better career. All right, guys. I think that's all for today. Best of luck. Whoever are watching till now, go ahead and just subscribe. I'll continue to bring some more interesting videos and informations. All the best, guys.